What's up? I had an idea. I'm gonna react to my own content. It's kind of a troll, maybe. I realize how ridiculous I am, honestly. I'm kind of an asshole. I'm just consistently an asshole. Just like combative at every turn. And I'm like, why is no one listening to me? And then this video, I'm gonna watch this video and react to it. And I know it's not perfect, so that's part of why I want to react to it, is to kind of go through it like again, because it's not just one video, it's actually 4 videos. And I had this thought, what if I react to it? Like, I feel bad reacting to other people's content. I honestly have had that thought of reacting to my content, and this video seemed like a good place to start. It really, to me, is my most important work that I have done so far. That's just how I feel. I have this issue where people... Because what's happening is I'm trying to share. I'm like, okay, guys, type. And I do it in my ways, like, because okay, that didn't work. So I'll try to, like, just have conversation, and then someone will question me, and undoubtedly, I'm like, hold up, let me explain to you. Let me do some explaining. I'm all like, fucking right, dude. It's fucking right. Wait, that's me though. Like, I'm pretty sure that, like, as much as I'd love to be a superhero and save the day, I'm just a fucking asshat who's gonna fuck some shit up he doesn't comprehend because he's playing with fucking fire. Oh my god. And you guys all know that already because you're fucking me. I'm like, you know this month. Maybe not everyone. Some people are aware. They're like, oh, this motherfucker. Help you, dude. Yeah, no. No. See, all truths are half truths. I keep having that pop up. I'm like, oh. I feel like I got a pretty complete truth here. Yet. It's a half a truth. That's the truth. Because, I mean, it seems like I'm kind of an asshole, and that's the truth of the matter. And there's people who are not that way by choice, and maybe they're a little more in tune with one another to a point where there's a hive mind of just people who are like, made it. Like, dude. Observing people as they're like struggling to make it. Yeah, probably the case, I think. I mean, that's kind of what I think, at least. And then I interact with people. Maybe they're more in my state of mind, where they're truly only aware of this life, and that's a lot of people. A lot of us are only aware of their personal life they're in right now, but there's some of us who have tapped into the string, the thread that connects us, that to me is almost like a DNA strand of time, where, like, as the observer's time marches forward, my time, I die at some point, and I realize, oh. And then, and come back as someone else, and someone else, to the point where we're literally overlapping this. We're the same consciousness, just at different times in the thread of time, but simultaneously in time existing in a way. I think so. Maybe it's possible where we can be like, yeah, maybe that's what's going on, and that's just like not fucking kill everyone. Oh my god. I don't even know what's happening. I mean, that's part of the problem. I'm like, I found the theory of everything. I don't know what's happening on Medium. I'm like, I haven't posted on Medium. Maybe I'll post on Medium. Try Medium. Literally nothing. Finally, someone responds on. I'm like, oh, maybe the Dwarka video got a response. Because I was the other one. I posted one on this video. And Mercury. And this middle video to kind of. Because I realized I said some shit that's like blatantly wrong. Oh my god. Like, pushed up the Alps. I mean, kind of true, but not true. It's not, and every geologist who listens to just this video, because I kind of shit it out. Really, maybe it is like a piece of poo in some ways, because I did just like kind of like burst it forth. Like, that's kind of, and I thought it was artistic in that way. Like, look at what I can do by seeing Mount Girnar. Because before this, it was like the earth expanded. Like, so I can see things that happen, but like the sequence and stuff, I mean, it's pretty foggy. Mount Girnar, I do feel like adds clarity to the situation. But I didn't really work the details out. I was like, holy fucking shit, this is amazing, guys. It's fucking amazing. It really is. It's incredible. And maybe I shouldn't be talking about it. People don't understand. They just destroy shit they don't understand, maybe. Oh my god. Okay, I talked a lot and not even hit play. Yeah. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I do feel though like there's something to it, to the fact that I made a first video. You can see sequentially there's a record of me being like, I think this is Dwarka, and then I fucking made a video like, ancient Dwarka found. And then made a podcast on it. And at none of those moments was I even consciously aware of Mount Girnar. And then, like days later, one night I'm like, shitty audio, but once I listened to it again, I was like, I'm glad this exists. Because, like, I literally was just like, this fucking mountain, record. Dudes, this fucking mountain. Let me tell you about some shit I'm just stumbling on right in the moment. So it's like in the moment. So it's documented, which is, to me, like, I mean, I know people who encounter me other me's and other timelines don't understand that I really did discover the theory of everything. So they're like, every assessment possible. I mean, just off the bat today. I mean, maybe because I did one of those things where I was like, someone's post on climate change. I'm like, well, we don't know. Like, it could be that. I keep looking at me. I should be looking at you. What are they saying? What was I saying? It could be that something in the past that we have taken as just like, yeah, that's true, is not true. And if we like redo it another way, find a different way to explain it, it may be that all the subsequent stuff isn't actually within that line of reasoning anymore. And so, like, maybe not climate change. And then someone responded, why do you feel that way? And I was like, well, me being me, I mean, then you use the word feel, and I don't feel that way. I know. And I said, well, I don't feel that way. I know that that it is wrong. The assessment is incorrect. And it's Twitter, so these are exact words that are fitting and then not fitting because of the conversation that starts getting out of hand. But I say I know because I discovered the theory of everything. Just matter of fact. To me, that's how I see it. That's how I see it. That's not how people who encounter me see it. They're like, odds are, dude, odds are. And then I start looking at this shit I say. And at this point, it's a can of worms. Where are you going to start? I mean, anywhere you start, odds are you're going to be like, what in the fuck is going on with this dude? Like this guy was saying, you need to be in a fucking mental help. Like, what in the fuck? Like, he was like going off, even though I'm just saying. Every time I'm like, or all those things you said, or I did discover the theory of everything. And I was simply stating, and then this, I start pointing out, I can tell you don't know anything about my work. So, like, why are the first words were like name calling? I mean, you guys know I'm a human too. I know I do it. I mean, I'm an asshole. That's the thing. I'm a fucking asshole. I deserve it. This is just what goes around comes around. Sorry, Randall Carlson. I'm pretty sure I inadvertently in my pushing, because I'm always trying to like get through to people, and there's like a wall. And so I'm like on the outside of the wall, like trying to get in, but I'm fucking far out. I'm like, hello. And it's maybe a channel. So I went on Brothers of the Serpent Discord as recommended by someone on Reddit, not of my own choice. I wasn't like, I'm gonna find some motherfuckers to be like, yo, I'm gonna check my shit out of what's up. I was on Reddit, like on alternative history, a place where I can actually fucking talk about this. Guys, I literally can't talk about this shit. People on like geology Reddit, like if they smell any like questioning of the. So the fact that I don't agree it whatsoever and I stand on a firm ground, I'm like, I cannot post here because I got something utterly different to say. And to say it is just like minus karma. It's like, dude, for speaking my fucking mind in a geology, like, how fucking elitist are we? What are we fucking doing, by the way, dudes? Fix Reddit. Oh my god, the potential on Reddit and then the fucking squandering of it with the way we. Oh, no. Like, let people fucking speak or else we're gonna fucking fight. That's what's gonna happen. That's the reality. When people can't speak, then unfortunately I'm probably an asshole, and there's people like, as soon as I start saying shit commandingly, I fucking let people speak. Like the guidestones, you know, they're called guidestones, but they're kind of written maintain, let, be. I don't know. I don't remember them. That's also just happened. The guidestones were blown up the other day. It is what it is, I guess. Oh my god. I don't know what to think about it, because on the one hand, it's fucking, and people point to the first one because it says the most ridiculous thing at first glance: maintain population below 500 million. Yeah, that's pretty fucking ridiculous. Given the state of the world, maybe we should aim to maintain it, or not to maintain it, just to like make sure everyone's happy, and maybe we work from there. I don't know, but then the rest get ignored because the first one and the second one get some attention, but like the rest of them are shit too. They're like laws. So you're saying after the governments nuked one another, that the next civilization of people working together, trying to find their way, stumbles on the guidestone. Sacred wisdom. Oh, it's fucking a good thing we preserve these languages, since we're descendants from people who spoke them, so we can read them. I feel like I'm stealing a comedian. I'm sorry, whoever that is. Maybe Mike Birbiglia. But I don't think so. But maybe. I feel like I'm kind of stealing someone's persona in that act to try to be funny. Because I'm not funny on my own. Maybe funny looking. Ha ha. Way to use that. I'll play a joke. Noob. I keep thinking people are noobs, but I'm the noob. Fuck. I'm like, I just can't be calling people noobs. I fucking get angry. Noob police meme. Okay, what are we at? 20 minutes yet to begin the reaction. I should probably hit play. Okay, but yeah, this Godstone's real quick. I got about 30 seconds before the 20-minute mark, so this Godstone, I mean, yeah, maybe not laws, though. Maybe not rule. That was one of them, rule. Maybe not. Maybe we don't allow that. And maybe that was the whole problem the whole fucking time. Maybe. And then maybe the 500 million idea isn't as necessary. As it seems, because I mean, our resources are getting kind of scarce. It seems. I don't know. I don't pay attention that much to be able to be like, okay, they're saying this, but it's that. I don't fucking know. I don't know. Whereas in other things, I feel pretty confident, be like, well, they're saying this, but it's that. It's actually that. Even though maybe not. Because maybe the earth is flat, maybe it's all show, and I realize after I'm like, earth fucking expanded by a vortex weapon, so Mercury's gonna too. Maybe that's why Africa is this phi of the larger phi of the Earth, because there was a fucking, that's where it hit, was there when some fucking me of the past being an ass then too. Maybe it was Sebastian Mana something. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out who I keep falling back to into like a tone of voice, whatever it is. Okay, that was another minute and a half. I should probably use headphones. Don't think I have headphones. In Gujarat, India, exists the land feature known as Mount Girnar. According to Jainism, it is believed. Okay, let's see. Sorry. Oh, what am I doing? Maybe that one. Turtle Beach. That should do. Maybe they're not on. I don't know. These are nice, but it's okay. Yes. Oh shit! It's beeping like they're really dead, probably. Okay. Light stop. Sorry. I just literally. Okay, let me see. Let's go past there. Okay, Gujarat. By the way, I don't mention this in the video. I'm gonna try to point out things that I think are interesting. I mean, the fucking like the tie to Egypt. So maybe there's like war going on. This looks like a lightning storm. I mean, an eyeball, a beak. I also like to think the concept of what if we get so advanced that we figure out how to just make this happen intentionally, and we just do it. That's part of the story because it's meant to happen and all. Maybe people that are most aware, they fucking knew they were gonna get the results of this bird with the eye, beak. I mean, it's crazy. There's even a little beak in there looking thing. a second bird even. Oh my god, that just looks like a bird right there. Maybe like a wing. This region, I mean, I don't know what's going on. Also, I found out I didn't bother to look because I just looked at, I physically looked at it. I was like, that's mounds. That's mounds, not mounds. There's no like elevation change really here. I don't know. I think still maybe the flow of energy is still like pushed this way, but not just whatever the wave is. It's just like a straight and not a vibrating wave to just like create this outline, because for sure this outline is anomalous. This whole region, all of this is anomalous on Earth. There's nowhere else. The only place that I've actually found that even resembles this is the Siberian traps, which I find real interesting. Like, what if some shit went down there? Like, Dwarka level shit. Like a fucking Mount Olympus, some Zeus action or something. I don't know. That would be incredible. But it's not as widespread. It's much more localized. It's long. It's noticeably similar. Nowhere else that I found though legitimately on Earth. And the traps are traps like the Deccan traps. So people can be like, well, then traps can do that. But you know, it's really not. It's not. At some point, you know, like a vague traps can do that kind of explanation next to like a storyline thread that really does seem to fit evidence from a wide spectrum. I mean, it does seem, I know I'm not perfect. I'm certainly not perfect, but my work is not perfect. And so that like makes it worse. I'm only a minute in. At 27 minutes, that's how this is gonna be, I guess. Oh my god. I already watched this part. 3672. I mean, I'm not big into numerology type stuff, but 3672 is also 369 729 9. I mean, 9,999 steps. I mean, that it has this naturally. To me, naturally. Okay, maybe not 9,999 steps, but the elevation as well. Just subtleties that are so clustered at Mount Girnar. Like, those things can happen, but then here it's just so pronounced that it's just fucking incredible. Like, we oh my, like here that's hexagon this wall. Oh my god, the way this mountain is. I mean, I've never been there. I've literally, my research was watching like YouTube videos of every single trip up the steps. Oh, it's going up the steps. So like another trip, checking out. More of the rocks. Looking for angles. I find one with a drone fly over. Oh my god. In the middle of making the video, I'm just like, this shit is a fucking. It's the phi. Like that. It's the phi growth in the fucking mountain. Like, undeniable. Right there. Let me pull it up because I'm talking about it. It's fucking incredible. Probably that. This. Probably. Oh, like. And then here, the way it has it's rounded. And then it has these steps even. Oh my god. I just picture an ant walking up the side of this. Is kind of maybe what it's more like, looking at like a black hole. Like, here's a black hole. We're like the ant over here looking this way, seeing its influence by curving. But this as well, I mean, this is just fucking, it's incredible. Oh my, no wonder they like gravitated to this place to the point where it is what it is today. It's just sacred, so don't fuck with it, please. Please don't fuck with it. It is truly sacred. As I fuck with it by talking about it. Oh, it's truly sacred. Fuck that guy and everything he says. Every single thing. Oh, he said that. Well, time to. Fuck. Ah, this wall, like, oh my god. Here. The way this is. This is that mountain. Oops. Not that. This one. Yep. This summit. That type of shape. I was like, fucking yearly shit. What is this yearly shit? You know what about that yearly shit? It kind of like gets in my like momentum. I'm like trying to pick up speed, and then it's like, you gotta celebrate. Wait, what? Again? Oh my god, I got shit to do, dudes. Can't we celebrate when we like fix shit? Yeah, we did it. But maybe I'm just like evil and dark. I'm about to say victory of good over evil. Light over darkness. Good. Okay. So that brings to mind, it's kind of weird using people's bodies in my videos. I feel bad. I really do. And I did it anyway. Like, I gotta do it, but then it's there, just there. And then I think about it, like everything I do, I'm kind of using things available to me in ways that the people who created them really didn't intend to. And then I'd start thinking, well, most instances people would probably be pretty like okay with, but if, let's say, this becomes a very heated topic thing, and people don't like that, it's just, they don't, it's, so I mean, I feel bad. I hope that people understand, I guess. And also, I kind of just fucking bum rushed it out. Like I was saying, I was like, gotta get it out. I also felt like I was dying by the end. Like, it literally, my body was like, stop. I did the Mount Girnar video. My body's like, stop. Cause this is intense. It really erupted when I discovered this. It was a catalyst that sparked. It was like provided the activation energy to then transform like the reactants A B C D E F G, all these like conglomerate ideas in my mind of ways the earth expanded, and then Mount Girnar comes in and just like whoosh, and it just coalesced rapidly to the point where I'm like, I can make a video, and just start making it. And I'm like, okay, videos take a lot of fucking time. It take a lot of time. And that's part of what's going on, is like, first video's out, it's like 5 minutes, and then like a few days later I'm just putting out the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one, and like adding fucking minutes to the point where it's an hour and 4 minutes. This shit's pretty fucking long. I've shit this out in a week, pretty much. I mean, this is probably my best video editing I've ever done. This and the Mercury video, like editing wise, it's pretty fucking good. It definitely conveys what I need to convey to, like, because I can't do it all on my own. Like, look around the world, there's just like plate tectonics documentaries, Big Bang documentaries. Like, I mean, like, are all the people who are creating these like me, like the mind doing the like theorizing? Because like, it's a fucking lot of work. I mean, can I not be the only one doing it? 40 minutes, okay. But like, because I am part of one of the benefits, I could be like, you know what? Look what just happened. I literally just like stumbled on this mountain. I got a couple pieces of evidence, and suddenly like coalesced to like, oh shit, this is making sense. New evidence. Fucking each one, like right here, this alone is incredible. Incredible. Like, hello, geology world. Then again, I don't know what's happening. Like, and someone highlighted that on the, like I was saying, on my Theory of Everything post on Medium. They're like, pretty much saying, so why should I listen to you? If you're gonna sit there saying you don't know what's happening and you discovered the theory of everything. Yeah, no, dude. But it's true. Like, I literally don't know what the fuck is happening. Like, what are you guys experiencing? I don't know. I can only literally guess. I think there's people out there. That's what I'm saying, though. I think there's people out there amongst us who are tapped in and guiding the process. They know what's going on. They know what's up. Somewhere in there, I'm not all of them involved. A lot of us are playing our part by chasing our whatever, which, like, I'm probably chasing shit I shouldn't be chasing. And making excuses. Oh no, that's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to help the world. Are you sure you don't just want some ass? I mean, it would be nice if I could get my select. Then it's like all this shit's going on. All of a sudden, I'm a human being with like fucking wants, desires, not necessarily needs though. So, like, I don't know that my actions are like on the up and up. So what am I trying to get people involved in? Like, I don't even know. Maybe you guys are just all watching me like this. Fucking me in another life is hilarious. I mean, it's tragedy though. Like, I'm like, this is a fucking tragedy. This world we're living in is a tragedy. What the fuck, guys? Oh, I gotta be positive. Positive? We're fucking... Am I crazy to say the governments are committing mass genocide on us right now? Oh my god. Unless that's not what's happening. That's the problem, is I don't know what's happening. Like, if I'm me, you're you. They're them. They're them. Everyone is like them. Self. Experiencing their own life. And there's some of me and you out there that are literally committing mass genocide right now. And lying to us about it. But now I'm like instilling fear. Oh no, dude, you just gotta be positive. I need Mount Girnar, man. Positive charge. I mean, I am ultimately positive. If I was truly like negative about this all in my mind, like, if I truly was negative, I would have no hope. I wouldn't be doing this. I'd be like, there's no hope. I give up. Like, why would I bother if I didn't believe this would work out for us? I guess. Oh my god. I mean, that's part of it. People don't know me. They don't know me. They're like, for us or for you? Like, dude, for fucking us, bruh. Fuck's sake, you don't even know. That's the thing. Like, if it is that is like, you're yo. We're all different yous. None of us are the same. None of us are aware of all these nuances of each other's lives. Then, like, what was I saying? I fucking forgot. Let me hit play. Oh, shit. Guess they'll have to charge. Maybe this is not actually going to be a reaction to this video. 45
Surrounding the
in.
mountain is a hexagonal pattern of linear features.
This is incredible, though. Like, it's straight up. And then, I mean, I didn't necessarily...
While the
It's a
mountain
little less
shows
pronounced
6
over
sides,
here.
its topography tells a different story. The topographical map of Mount Girnar.
I also gotta deal with, like, the constant, like, in my head, I'm like, people are judging me. Every fucking word I say, like, this motherfucker up in here telling me that he knows better. He just then I'm like in my head, like, oh my god, get caught in this loop of just like fucking worrying about what people think because it matters. I gotta be accurate, but I gotta be like acknowledged. Like, I'm a fucking human who is speaking. Like that, this society doesn't have like a built-in capacity for us to speak to one another just freely when we sincerely and earnestly are fucking trying to. Like, I mean, maybe that's pretty problematic. Oh my god.
Shows
I guess it's all meant to be.
4 sides surrounding the mountain. And when we zoom out further, we see a band.
Okay. Maybe I can just skip through. I don't need to watch it all. You guys can watch it. But maybe I'll skip through. Or damn, I really do want to react, though. I did want to react to it.
Wrapping around the mountain.
There's just so much. That's another thing. It's so fucking much. Like, I pretty much was like, I know it's, I can't just bombard, or, no. I can't, convince people with like no evidence. Like, I can't make a 5-minute video and be persuasive to an extent where I'm like persuasive. It's not possible. But people aren't gonna watch a long fucking video that would require the length to like actually have like in-depth discussion on topics. I just like I was like, I'm gonna fucking rapid fire it, not just rapid fire, but then spin it. I started spinning it like new topic. What? Because I'm like, if you can't hold on, then that's not my problem, is it? I mean, all these people fucking hating. Maybe I'll just fucking make it. You want to understand what I'm saying? Oh, you gonna have to fucking climb this mountain. That's all I gotta say. Now what? to the point where it's like, you better be pausing. People watching YouTube, like fucking playing video games and shit, trying to watch my video, and then 4 minutes in, react. Good luck with that way. People trying to speed up. Oh, he talks slow. He talks so slow. I'm like, I don't know.
This leads to the question,
like, could you say it faster? This leads to the question, what might have caused this? I mean, I think it's not that slow, maybe, the way I said it, but it's a little slow, but then goes, because I'm like, you gotta fucking think, bro, you thinking of it?
what might have caused this?
Trying to fucking speed up my video. You're not gonna have. No. Oh my god. I didn't overlay this very well. But the one in the one lake. And I didn't point this out here. There's a lake here. If this is up higher, I was trying to fit it into the hexagon. I wasn't trying to make it actually. But if this is up at the top of the hexagon, what's real interesting is this one and this one are like right here, and there's another lake, maybe that or there or something. I think it's that one though. I think it's that, even though it doesn't really look like a lake here. And then here's a lake, which is at 8. But then there's a river that feeds here and then comes over. And then over here, if this is overlaid more exactly, it's not at the one, but this lake here crosses this line. This line crosses over, and then it comes from this one, crosses over into this one, through this other lake. And so 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 all are like actually involved with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I miss one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With the lakes. With the freaking lakes. There's another lake here. That's right. That's why I was like, there's 6 lakes. With the 5 lakes, there's one here, which is interesting because this is like a top 9 and this is the bottom 9. I wonder if like this 9 is equivalent to 0 because it's kind of like the base. It's interesting. Like if it's at the 0 point, then it's kind of like where, oh my god, I never had this thought, but that's kind of interesting. Like a star radiant at the 0 point with like branches out from it. Just a fun idea, not technical, but maybe.
In the Bhagavata Purana, the king of the Silva kingdom is said to have had a high-tech...
I'm real happy with this part. Like, narrative.
Aerial vehicle
chill.
crafted for the purpose of destroying the city of Dwarka and to kill his hated enemy, Lord Krishna. The flying vehicle named Salba, made of iron, was constructed by Maya Danava and presented to the king of Salwa. Upon his attacking Dwarka, a fierce vortex is said to have arose, blanketing the area with billowing dust. After the attack on Dwarka, meaning gateway to heaven, Krishna was able to take out the Vimana, but not before the city could be lost to the ocean. Afterwards, Krishna is mistaken for a deer and shot in the foot and fatally injured, and so was said to begin the Kali Yuga. Today, ancient Dwarka is thought to have been sunk off the western coast of India. The city is described as being built on a lake, having bridge entries and a port entry. It has been described as further being built on 6 pillars or mounds, 2 on the right and 4 on the left. Underwater ruins have been found by modern Dwarka, but none matching details of the Mahabharata, where the city had 900,000 royal palaces composed of silver, gold, and gems. In the Mausula Parva, Arjuna describes the submergence of Dwarka as follows. The sea, which had been beating against the shores, suddenly broke the boundary that was imposed on it by nature. The sea rushed into the city. It coursed through the streets of the beautiful city. The sea covered up everything in the city.
I'm just sitting here thinking about that. I'm watching my own video and what people are going to think. Oh, he's reacting to his own video, his ego. Oh my God, his ego. It's like, dude, imagine that, like, Nikola Tesla's here. People are like, this fucking ego, Nikola Tesla. He's trying to talk. The fucking Nikola Tesla trying to fucking say something. What? Could you shut your fucking mouth, Nikola Tesla? Huh? I'm trying to... It's just, you don't know what I've done. I mean, some people do. Honestly, some people do. But not to degrees. All things are relative. I'm sure some people are more aware of what I will do, which is another it's a concern. I don't know what I will do. Like going back to the fucking Mercury gun. You know, the planet is utterly in chaos. The only way at this point. It's really the only way. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll fucking do it. I don't know why it's a bazooka every time. But, and then cut. He fucking did it. That's when you guys are finally we got you. It was flat earth all along, you fuck. Yeah, we fuck with you, of course. Yeah, got him. You fucking egotistical maniac, you megalomaniac, you. Oh my God. Guys, I thought that was what I was supposed to do. All the signs were pointing me to do that. Like, really? Like, it wasn't like I just fucking, like, was like, yeah, what I want to do. Wake up one day. All the signs. Oh, you can't pay attention to signs. Maybe that's going to be a concern for people in the future. Oh, they're paying attention to signs. That's probably what, like, the New World Order is getting signs. Anyone who's listening to signs will be not really welcome in that type of way of life. Those signs will they might tell us things about life.
The beautiful buildings become submerged one by one. In a matter of a few moments, it was all over. The sea had now become as placid as a lake. There was no trace of the city. Dwarka was just a name.
I will point out this is a little anomalous to me. The sea had now become as placid as a lake. So you're saying a vortex weapon that rips the earth open. I mean, the way I look at this kind of thing is like, it's fucking right. I mean, is not always literally correct in the verbiage because it's in translations across time. But if we like open the spectrum up enough and say, okay, this word could mean this, it could mean that, it could mean that, according to these translations, that gives us a spectrum of possibility. Plus, throw some like, you know, there's some physics in there. Some physics that I essentially point to personally. That kind of physics, not like our kind of physics as it is today. More like a Newtonian. I mean, that's really the thing. Is it's classical. It's basic. It's simple. It's elegant. Plus infinity. You know, that's really all I did was say, you know, we really gotta incorporate infinity into that classical mechanics thing over there, and you know, that'll work out. That's what it is, dudes. That's what it is. And you know, I was guided by fucking every step of the way in my incompetent decision-making life to become who I am. Which is another thing. I'm like, yeah, I was an atheist. Some people like, it's hilarious. Like, people encounter me and they're like, you like, one of the first words they say is Bible, something Bible, religious. And I'm like, you don't know I was atheist, dude. I literally did not, but I was like, there ain't no God. There ain't no God. Ain't no God. That's probably why I'm living this life, because I was such a fucking arrogant asshole. And God's like, what you say, motherfucker? Well, maybe he didn't say it quite like that. Part of me got putting like words in your mouth like that, God. Part of me, people are like, oh my God, this is who knows what people think when they encounter me at this point. I'm sorry. I love you all. That's all I can say, you know. That's what I'm about. You know, that's really what I'm about. People hating on me like, this motherfucker over here. I'm like, dude. What did I fucking do? What did I do anyway? There's some shit right here, except fucking correct your asses. Not intentionally, but just by being, really. That's what I realized. That's what I did. I existed. I just was me. Oh, sorry about that one. But then I'm like, well, maybe someone else is gonna exist. I'm gonna encounter them and be like, oh. Yeah, they're like, yeah, sorry about that one. And I'm like, oh, you're like a good person. I'm just a fucking cunt asshole who curses and hates authority, apparently. I'm just a terrible person. You actually are a specimen. And the world hates me and is now calling me really, just shitting on me. Just utterly wrong, too. That's the problem. It's gonna be fun. So many preconceived notions. Shit's rigged. Dudes, it's rigged. Oh my God, it's rigged as fuck. Which is cool. I mean, it's ultimately just, what a story we all write together, I guess. And live repeatedly. Maybe. Oh my God. It is something.
Just a memory.
But yeah, it's a little anomalous. See, that is placid as a lake. I mean, one thought is like it moved away. Like it really seems like the storm was started
With color shaded
on Dwarka here. Which I really think is Dwarka, guys. Also, shout out to Reed. the these mounds. Like, it's really interesting. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I believe the Pleiades have like they have 7, with like the 7th being hidden. It's almost like there's a 7th here. And then I read on another website that there's actually even a 8th and a 9th of the Pleiades stars. And then there's it doesn't have to align like that. That's crazy.
Relief of bathymetric data, we can see.
Oh yeah, but so maybe the vortex started here and then like moved away, but like the earth started to expand and water came in. It does seem like there wasn't a like ocean there up to here.
There is a region matching geological description of ancient Dwarka. More, there is a seamount chain having a golden ratio phi spiral curvature to the west of the location. While the golden ratio is commonly in nature in plants and other living beings, arcs on the surface of the earth tend to be results of longitudinal propagation of waves rather than having a phi ratio curvature. This is indicative of a spiraling energy in the formation of the seamount chain and not a longitudinally propagating wave. Globally, there are countless examples of formations being created by waves moving longitudinally. Island arcs such as in the Caribbean, the whole of the Ring of Fire, the Indonesian archipelago, and the Scotia Arc.
Not quite on the whole of the Ring of Fire.
Island arcs such as in the Caribbean.
This part is different. I did say the whole of the Ring of Fire. Like, this is, I mean, it's kind of the same, but it's just more so when the earth ruptured, the force was more in this direction. So the arcs are over here. Oh, the arcs are over here. There's not really arcs over here. I said the whole of the Ring of Fire. These are not really that. The arcs. Little thing, but I'm like, people fucking be like, this motherfucker thinks the whole Ring of Fire is arcs. What is fucking idiot, dude?
Whole of the Ring of Fire.
I'm like, dude, have you ever tried to simultaneously combine physics, geology, the Bible, the Quran, Hinduism, more things, psychology, philosophy, world events, alternative viewpoints of world events, prophecy? I mean, the shit I fucking look into, music. It's like, yeah, maybe I'm not quite as focused on one topic, so like people in all areas when it comes to like their topic. Oh, I'm the one spending all the time in this topic. They're gonna be like, okay, this dude's fucked that up, fuck that up, fuck that up, fuck that up, and they're just gonna be like, therefore, no, nope, unpersuaded, because I didn't actually think about it and look into it, because that's what actually needs to happen. It's people to like consider other observations and be like, actually that does kind of seem to explain this thing that he's totally unaware of, because he's fucking unaware of a lot of shit over him. Theory of everything, dude, over there. Fucking literally theory of nothing. Fucking idiot. Oh my god, world. Hello, hello. Welcome to my, what's the word? Low self-esteem looking over me. What do I look like? How's my hair? My hair's all long now. Ta-da. Check it. I haven't cut it since I lost my job. Cool. I feel kind of young. Like I'm in college again.
The Indonesian archipelago and the scope.
People are like, I didn't come here to listen to you be a fucking ass. Like, tell me the shit you want to say and get the fuck. I got shit to do.
Osha arc. All were formed by longitudinally propagating waves.
Okay.
Continents experienced these forces as well in the forming of mountains such as the Appalachians and Himalayas.
Like this. People don't take this shit into account. They're like, oh yeah, probably. Play tectonics. Oh yeah. Like, dude. Like this shit. Like,
Across the world.
That's why I'm like, is this a fucking setup? I mean, it is. In some ways, a setup. But why is it a setup? That's what I mean, is I don't know what's happening. Like, I can't know. That's why, like, what's wrong with me saying I don't know what's happening while simultaneously saying I found the theory of everything? Maybe, you know, what do they say about, like, the more you know, like, the more you realize what you don't know. So, you know, the more you know, the more you realize, I don't know, what the fuck is happening? I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know what's happening anymore. Like, I could tell you the physics. I could tell you the Earth expansion process. But in terms of, like, who I'm talking to, what you actually are experiencing in the most complete sense, because, I mean, it's complicated. You as an individual, meaning who, pretty much everyone, like, unless I know what everyone is experiencing, to know with absolute certainty that, like, you think I'm just another person going about his life like every other person, and that's your experience with me. Because that's not how it is for me. It's literally not how it is for me. That's why I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is happening. Like, people are like, dude, it's crazy. Simultaneously, just type to me, dude, you're crazy. Let me explain how, like, these thoughts that are coming to mind fucking align with your thoughts, dude, right in the moment. Like, what the fuck? Why am I, like, it's like you did that. You did that. You, individually, you, right there, the person interacting with me. You and your future self, well aware of me. You were like, that. The way your eyes glanced. Yeah. But people, aren't thinking on that level necessarily, and if they hear about, like, what is this? This dude needs in a fucking mental hospital. This dude right here, he needs to be locked the fuck up. Maybe shot in the nose.
Arcs are of this dimension, atoms pushing
Please don't.
atoms. Yet the phi ratio arc
I mean, if you
of
insist,
the
I don't fucking
Arabian
know.
Sea seamount chain distinctly requires a spiraling energy of a vortex, and a fierce one at that, to produce it. With such a distinct spiraling, yet the phi ratio across the world, arcs are of
There's several.
this dimension, atoms pushing atoms. Yet the phi ratio arc of the Arabian Sea seamount chain distinctly requires a spiraling energy of a vortex, and a fierce one at that, to produce it. With such a distinct feature, the vortex must have rapidly lost energy. In other words, a spontaneous discharge of the energy of the vortex would have to be released from the system to the Earth. The vortex of such a
I literally did that before I even like when I first put the lightning bolt. I just thought it would be cool. I wasn't really like because I did it immediately for the intro, the first video. It was only 5 minutes. There's no content really. It was just set up and content, but just no new content. None of the ideas really just set up for them. And but I was like, I'll put this lightning in this. Like, dude, wait. Like, wait. You know, maybe that's not like wrong. Actually, the more I think about it, like this fucking looks like if you look around, like it really is in like. I think that's what's up.
allow an abundance of ether
Like that's how my
particles
research happens.
in, so as to even created a detectable nucleus. Evidence shows that the region of Gujarat, India, is highly scarred with not only anomalous currents, as if an otherworldly lightning storm passed through the area, but even a trail is visible.
This region's just incredible.
The nucleus of the system appears to have left behind a depressed and
No matter what people think about the mechanics of the Earth, this region is incredible.
scorched land. If the nucleus passed over,
And not that highly studied, honestly, relative to other places. At least not in my research. It may be in, like, not in English. But in English language, not much research.
the land, it could have gouged the land with its downward flowing wind and energy, creating the Gulf of Kunch and the Gulf of Kambat. If the land was sufficiently hardened, then it would stay intact and instead be.
This is a little off. I said golf. I feel a little like maybe I shouldn't say things. I'm just kind of on a run. I'm like, this is fucking like this is the lining, oh, this is the lining, and then like things I stick that I'm really confident about. While other things, I'm not as confident about. So like this is like doesn't quite fit like this scorch. If the nucleus of the storm goes here, then what's going on over here? If it created this and this, it's kind of weird. So I'm thinking, well, maybe legitimately, this is a thought I have. It's possible, maybe that like the nucleus is over here putting a downward wind, but then like a angled energy that's like heating over here. I don't know. Is it, or I'm just mistaken on this? I didn't even look like, creating the Gulf of Kunch and the Gulf of Cam, but I didn't really look geologically to confirm a lot of this stuff. I'm like, I'm just so confident. I'm literally so confident that I'm just gonna say shit now. Like, quickly. Like, oh, yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Maybe I should be a little more
the scorched
mindful.
trail leads southward until it reaches what appears as a lightning strike on the ground. Surrounding this feature is a border, as if the flow of energy of such a lightning strike pushed mountains around its edge. A lightning imprint pointing directly at the most defined point of the hexagon surrounding Mount Girnar. Mount Girnar is an intrusion considered to have formed.
Intrusion. So that's. I've listened to this enough for it to be many times. Cause that's what I do. People are like, oh, the fucking ego. I'm like, dude, it's called like perfectionist. I'm thinking, I'm looking at it, I'm studying it. Fucking ego. I feel like that's like an ego move to call people's egos out for like being. Like fucking calling me narcissist. So many people call me narcissist. I'm like, dude, it's kind of irritating when you literally fucking just meet me, and because I'm claiming to have found the theory of everything, like fucking on guard and just, okay, what explanation can I find? Narcissist. It's so common, dudes. That's the best you got. Get out of that fucking noob shit. It ain't even so. Like, it's a thing. People don't know what they're talking about. That's the problem. I don't know what's happening, but I know what I'm talking about. Somehow, to a degree, depending on assuming, and I am assuming. I will admit that I assume that you are living your life and I'm living mine, and that's pretty much the case for everyone, and that's it. I mean, I've lived my life by that assumption all along, and now I'm only now realizing it to really be an assumption. I don't know. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it really is an assumption. Could someone wake me up before I go or something?
About 1 to 2 million years ago in the plains of Kathiawar, in the midst of the Deccan Traps. Indeed, the Deccan Traps appear to exist in the region that the vortex of the storm occupied.
Would have occupied. I really need to be more careful about a language occupied, because like I do not know this is the case. The thing is, it is the case if this is actually a planet. But if this is like a plane, there's so many possibilities that really I understand. I mean, but if the Earth is truly the Earth, then this is the case. I'm convinced, and I know that doesn't mean anything to people. But someday it will mean something to some people. That I am convinced to the point of, if he's convinced, maybe I'll check it out instead of being like, he's fucking crazy. So, yeah, fucking ego, narcissistic. The problem is people are gonna be like, oh, you're listening to him, and it's gonna be some fucking sides taken, and when I'm just trying to share the truth. Like, that's fucking bullshit. Or is it the truth? That's the thing. It's my truth, is it? Is it the truth? I'm trying to share the scientific linking of all of reality that I've see us as a people going about. Like, it's not like I came up with any of these sciences. I just observed what everyone else was thinking and was like, I see this thing going on here that I'm not completely convinced with, but I'll certainly take advantage of the fucking observation. Thanks for pointing that out to me. Now that is a part of my understanding. But I mean, do I incorporate it? And that's another thing. It's like, if people start fucking looking at this video and they're like, none of that shit's so. None of that shit's so. That's stupid. But that mountain is interesting. I'll give them that. I'll give them that that mountain is interesting, but all the rest of the shit he said is stupid. I mean, do I have to remind you guys then that, like, no one else seemed to notice? Like, wouldn't the person who noticed the subtleties of the mountain's construction, like, maybe, especially given the circumstances, have been like a little aware of other things, to the point where maybe if it doesn't even remotely resemble what we think in this moment, like, maybe that doesn't mean it's not so. I don't know. Ultimately, I admit I don't know. I don't know anything. You guys figure it out, but fucking don't ignore me. People are like, oh, he doesn't know anything. Okay, over this way. I'm like, dude, you guys don't know either. What the fuck are we doing? Listen to the authority. Hello, I know. What do you know? Oh, well, the theory is. Oh, so. This guy got into an argument, I assume it's a guy, conversation with me, where they just start fucking name calling, literally. Just fucking, and I didn't. They literally said, in my kind response, they're like, why you humble bragging? I'm like, for fuck's sake, I cannot speak. Like, the dude is just, someone just walks up to you and just starts like, you fucking shit ass mother, and you just are like, I appreciate your perspective. And they're like, why are you humble bragging? I mean, maybe I'm humble bragging a little bit, like right now. Maybe because thank you for that. I'll humble brag right now. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, I was in that moment a little constrained and not responding. Surely I'm a specimen to behold, and I love you guys. That's the thing. I'm literally trying to help. People are like, just, I mean, if you guys aren't gonna fucking, like, what are you guys doing? If you're not gonna try to help and, like, fucking get out of the way. I'm not talking to anyone specific, especially not anyone specific. Because Randall Carlson comes to mind after a recent interaction. I was not talking about him. So Randall, I was not talking about you. I think I might have. I don't know. I even responded. I was watching live. He was suddenly changed the subject off the Georgia Guidestones to the fools on the internet. I'm like, oh man. Yeah. Let's think about this for a second. Who the fuck could piss off Randall Carlson? And this is the reality. He's on his shit. I don't want to try to beg for forgiveness for being a cunt asshat, but he is. That's the thing is I'm also not fully correct. I basically am it's not the case. This is all these things you think are not the case, but I know you're extremely well versed and studied, and I'm not. But they're not the case. And listen to my language the nucleus of the storm traveled over the. What the fuck did this dude say? We can get away with that if it's the dominant viewpoint.
This can be inferred from the length of the seamount chain. While the nucleus traveled over a focused location, the bands of the storm would have moved above the land. The Deccan Traps are a large igneous province of west central India. It is one of the largest volcanic features on Earth, seen as a large shield volcano. It is
10 minutes in, hour and a half in. Oh my god. This is also, if there's it's not here as much. I do believe this has hexagonal type stuff. This one's not as good as the one with the water flowing through it.
Composed of solidified flood basalt layers, considered to be the result of a giant.
This is incredible. This is distinctly caused by currents. I'm gonna say that confidently. I feel I can confidently say that this is incredible, and it is distinctly caused by currents.
Volcanic eruption over a large area.
In terms of swirling currents, eddies, or currents in the ocean, as I point out later on.
The Deccan Traps are more than 2,000 meters
This
thick.
one, right here, oh my god. See, there's literally columns that then come up to a new level, and then at the base of a new column starts, and then it just repeats. That is not fucking normal, dudes. All throughout. This is incredible right here. This right here. Oh my god.
And covering an area of 500,000 square kilometers. While the nucleus would have been most energetic,
I gotta
a
go
region
there
of subtle
sometime.
particles in such abundance so as to be capable
We
of
find one.
creating a void of atoms, thus allowing the most cosmic energy through to the surface of the planet. Its bands would have allowed cosmic flows into the region below the storm, which could produce a large flood basalt on the earth below. The traps are considered to have a
on the earth below. I felt like I said that a little. On the earth below. Whoa. It was meant to be a whoa moment, but it wasn't to most people. Whoa. Most people watching this are like, this dude's fucking insane. This dude's lost it. What are we gonna do about this dude? Do we just take him out back and shoot him? I don't know.
Erupted in phases as bands of a
Fucking
sufficient
probably,
storm
dudes.
could induce
If you don't
across
fucking
a
help
period
not
of
have that helping
700,000
happen,
years,
it's gonna
around
fucking happen.
66 million years ago. It is worth noting, radiometric dating relies on
You better fucking help him. Like, look at me trying to subtly encourage revolution. Protect me. I need a wall. A wall from anyone who may want to do me harm by just sufficient envelope of people surrounding me, filtering through anyone to make sure they don't have ulterior motives by paying close attention to their ways and not trusting them. Oh, hello, new person. Don't trust you until you've shown that you are trustworthy. Usually most people are like obviously trustworthy. That's the reality of the situation, is most people are obviously immediately, there's no question, trustworthy. I mean, we're all one, so ultimately we all can be trustworthy. But we're in different places in lives and circumstances, and lead to basically tyrannical bullshit. That's really what that's the thing I'm talking about. Trustworthy. Like, as long as you don't stand for tyranny, I mean, that's probably a good start. Does that you stand for tyranny? But then I'm like the fucking tyrant for trying to prevent tyranny. Oh, he's doing it. He's fucking doing it. I'm the Antichrist now. What have I gotten myself into? And then I'm like, am I? I'm like, fuck, man. It is kind of dark. It's science, theory of everything, theory of nothing. What if I am just literally the most wrong, perfect example of what not to be for everyone to behold, and then we live in eternity and everyone kind of looks at me and pities me, but doesn't really want to in any way be near me. They're like, this fucking guy. You can have like a cave on that island over there since toodaloo. Like, assuming I live in some realm, like I really do believe there comes a time where we get to live and people are like, oh, the fucking ego. Like, dude, you want to die? Do you really want to die? You. Yeah, well, I'll be someone else. Like, do you? Like, wouldn't it be cool if we could all kind of just coexist for a while? And, like, you know, maybe that's heaven. And we just die and we go there. Maybe that's it. But maybe when we die, we pass to a different time in our thread of time, just as like I'm you overlapping and you're me and everyone else is the same thread of conscious experience going forward in a straight direction, but that then loops back in on itself like DNA and just creates this tapestry. What was that sound? Larger time. Oh yeah. So maybe the same thing happens with the heaven and earth, where it's not like when we die, we go to heaven, and that's it. When we die, we go to the future through like a channel, and then we're in the future, and we arrive in the future. We're like, oh, this is nice. People, yeah, welcome. This is 7. Welcome. We got all the amenities here. Yeah, you can look into the past too. We're studying. It's like a fucking school. Everyone just like has access to everything they could possibly want, but not like in a evil or hateful way, but like lovingly, like, oh, it's my daughter, I want to see, not to like to observe her nuanced experiences from a different angle and really see like, oh my god, she loved me, like that thought that she had right there that I didn't get to see in real time, but now I can see it from this future time. That's heaven, like, maybe to the point where it's just a single forward thread that connects across coexisting, overlapping, where like there's Mars, there's Venus.
Constant decay rates to determine an age.
There's
However,
Mercury.
it has been shown that decay rates are seasonally dependent and therefore are only useful as relative ages rather than absolute ages when comparing to modern rates of decay. If we allow for the time of absolute ages to be contracted while maintaining the sequence of events as suggested by radiometric dating, the connection of these anomalies with Deccan traps leads us all the way to the other side of the Earth. Occurring in the same period, the Chicxulub crater has been considered as a possible cause of the Deccan traps. However, the evidence strongly suggests the Deccan traps began before the formation of the crater.
Like that right there. I mean, especially when I put
of the Deccan traps.
Highlighted E. When I put papers, like, it's really up to the people listening. Like, if someone's watching a YouTube video, like they can't, like, they gotta, like, literally, it's almost like necessary to really gather the details to like fucking be like, pause. What is this shit? Okay, good enough.
However, the evidence strongly suggests the Deccan traps began before the formation of the crater. The two formations on Earth are frequently considered together to determine if they may be linked due to their relative nearness in time.
I noticed these at some point. Wonder the cracks take
and
certain
somewhat
shapes.
antipodal positions, being about 5,000 kilometers from it. Importantly, in the times of Dwarka, the Earth had yet to expand. While plate tectonics is generally described as the process under which Earth functions, it assumes the existence of an ocean as the remaining surface area of the planet having a single continent when Pangaea existed. However, this is not the case. The Earth expanded. All continents were one single landmass, fully joined, making up the totality of the surface area of the Earth. While it is difficult to remap exactly how the Earth was,
I don't like it when I do those subtle, forceful things, like, into case. And then I like my tone of voice.
Prior to expansion,
So
a pre-expansion Earth brings the Deccan traps and Chicxulub closer towards antipodal positions. The expansion of the Earth occurred when sufficient activation energy was present for the antipodal positions.
Antipodal position. Oh my god. I just wanted to look at this again. This is how, so like, people generally put the Yucatan Peninsula just up as if it was just there.
The expansion
I'm
of
not
the Earth
completely
occurred.
like it's so complex to do it by myself, because essentially the problem is people aren't aware of the shit I'm aware of. And so even when they're doing Earth expansion models, like there's no Earth expansion like the global flood story Earth expansion model. Like they're really not out there. So it's like just me. So I'm like, I can kind of look at what other people are doing, but like no one in the Earth expanding realm is contemplating rapid transition. They're just like slowly expanded. I'm like, it fucking exploded, dudes. Holy shit. It was like a boom.
When sufficient activation energy was present for the Earth to react. The Yucatan Peninsula was positioned in the region of Chile and Peru. The flow of ether from the storm was funneled through the storm.
I literally don't know how funneled sound like I used a funnel, because I didn't. Maybe if I say funnel, it'll also sound like that.
The Yucatan Peninsula was positioned in the region of Chile and Peru. The flow of ether from the storm was funneled through the storm, through the Earth, and out the other side of the planet. As a result, it applied an outward pressure on the crust on the opposite side of Earth. And the Earth, under extreme stress from internal pressure building up, began to fracture. This was apparent first along the Mediterranean, as can be seen from the ocean.
This is one of my least favorite tone of voice moments. And yes, I'm disacquainted with this video.
Oceanic crustal age. As the fracture ripped through the Earth, it sent shock waves into the edges of continental shelf in the direction of propagation. When the fracture reached the energetic antipode, the Earth exploded.
This right here.
We can follow the evidence to see that this is the case. Firstly, we use the oceanic crustal age to get a feel for the sequence of the process. As can be seen, the oldest oceanic crust is in the Mediterranean, then being between North America and Africa, which means the fracture moved in this direction. Turning to maps of the Earth, when the fracture moved westward along the Mediterranean, it was also generally turning as it deflected energy into the land along the right side of the fracture's travel.
See, I'm 15 minutes in, I'm about to say something blatantly wrong. Geologically. Subtly correct, but blatantly wrong, the statement I make. Because I say the pushed up the Alps.
This pushed up the Alps
Did not.
and the Appalachian
And the
Mountains.
Appalachians didn't form simultaneously, dude. But because I am actually like, this shit happened though. Like, okay, let me look. And that's when I'm like, okay. Calm down, self. This is not that ridiculous. Because there were actually mountains formed under the Alps. And so I made a second video. I was like, the timeline, which I think it helps. But, like, it wasn't one and done. It was like an add-on, which is kind of shitty. I didn't really want to just, like, keep expanding the video. Mainly because my computer can't handle the file as it gets bigger. Like, this shit has so many pieces of things in it. My computer was like, okay, are you done with this video yet?
While there was no Atlantic Ocean yet formed. This is evident in the mountains throughout, but especially in the Appalachians, where the shock wave of energy was so immense that it even caused the second wave to form south of the mountain chain.
The Nirvana tongue. Come on, God. I got some gems in here, like comical relief gems. All these people watching it, like, fuck. Oh my God, this fucking guy. He's such an ass. I can't stop. Some
where the shock wave of
people that know me will be like, it's fucking
energy was so immense that it even caused the second wave to form south of the mountain chain.
What is... People don't know. That's a Nirvana smiley face, because it says in the video. I was like, oh yeah, I looked for a smiley face. It was like Nirvana smiley face, and I was like, fuck yeah. And then it overlays this thing here. I think there's something here for me to go to, kind of.
As can be seen, the topography of the terrain is not nearly as influenced along the African side as in Europe and North America. Only along the fracture length where energy was sent in both directions. This led to a major expulsion of magma from the fracture in the Earth, today known as the Central Atlantic Magmatic Province. The Earth was still a single landmass, but with gaping fractures forming that allowed magma to begin to seep across the surface of a large swath of land. Then the fracture appears to have ran into resistance from the sheer landmass of Africa, and the wave of energy propagating deflected off of it. It rapidly turned instead between North America and South America towards the weak point of the Earth, where a vortex of ethereal energy was flowing and pressuring outward on the crust of the Earth. When it reached the location, the crust gave way and exploded violently. This explosion pushed up the Andes Mountains, applying force into South America, which was still connected to Africa. North America and Central America ripped away from South America. The vortex of this ether storm entering the Earth, traveling in a clockwise direction as evidenced by the seamount chain, passed through the Earth and exited the opposite side as a counterclockwise rotation. When Central America was separated, it broke free with torque. The spiral vortex of the ether storm caused the crust to rotate, and as it fractured apart, it was caused to whip in a counterclockwise direction. This caused Central America to apply a pressure to the western coast of South America. Mountains from Ecuador through Venezuela.
I'm not sure about this part. I'm not the biggest fan of this part. These mountains I find really interesting because of the way they are shaped. Like, they really do And since this happened, I realized I'm fairly certain that this actually literally was like this here. And all of this stuff was kind of shoved up into it. Which is interesting because right here is called the Beacon of Maracaibo, which I found out afterwards, which is like the lightning capital of the world in terms of just the ridiculous quantity of lightning, like right there. One spot pretty much, like maybe the whole lake, but I don't think it's the whole lake. I think it's like literally, maybe it's just over the lake. I don't know. Point is, fucking crazy lightning there. Like constantly, like 260 days a year or something. Just like, I don't know. You guys can look it up if you care. Beacon of Maracaibo, this lake here. I just wonder if like it's related to the process of this shoving debris over me. Like I'm literally like, what if there's like a void particle involved that was like that creates like an energetic storm region, like
by the force of this torque. As can be seen, the mountain chains in this region move in step-by-step angles that are related to the thickness of the continent across its width in the location. This suggests that the explosion was enough to cause all remaining fracturing to rapidly be induced, since if South America were still attached to Africa, the resulting mountain chain would not mimic.
That was kind of. I don't know if what I just said was true about this. That's why I don't. Guys, essentially trying to say that the change in the width over here, but I mean it's not. Was influencing the change, but I'm not sure because maybe this shape here is the actual where it fractured and all this stuff it's just like pushed into it. Maybe not. This is probably inaccurate. More actually in line with this.
The width of the continent. As the torque brought Central America past the top of South America, material was sent into the newly developing ocean beds, and islands formed of both continents.
This is interesting. I'm pretty sure right around here somewhere there's structures underwater like 1,000 maybe feet, meters, fucking far. I think it might have been meters. I think it's legitimately 1,000 meters underwater. Which, if this was all above water, maybe it just got kind of.
Continental shelf and newly formed material were created. Evidence has further shown that even the Deccan traps experienced clockwise, counterclockwise rotation. When the crust of the
like that. This is not a casual point.
evidence has further
The Earth rotated at the Deccan traps. Crazy. Like people in like a plate tectonics perspective are gonna look at this and be like, so? I'm like, dude, So your point is so, and my point is a vortex weapon was used on ancient Dwarka, and then it caused the earth to fucking explode. Like I'm gonna do when people realize that this is true. Hopefully in more of like a mental explosion this time, where we just mentally not explode, but have like a mind-blowing explosion, you know. That's all. That's what we need, is mind-blowing explosions, not explosions. Right? Or is that not? I don't know. Maybe that's equally bad. I don't fucking know. In hindsight, it's actually equally bad. So we should like Fahrenheit 4. Sometimes I'm like, maybe we should burn all the books. No one should know anything. Just simply love and serve selflessly, committing yourself entirely to whatever it is other people have decided you should be doing. And there. Maybe that's the best way to keep it at peace. We all don't know anything, because if we know anything, then we'll start looking for more knowledge, and next thing we know, we're oh. Oh my god, maybe that is like the fucking meta way after all. It should just be all zombies. Or maybe mind-blowing is good. Maybe it's like a positive good. It like brings us back to a higher state of consciousness rather than lower. Because it's like an influx of energy causing a reaction. And then of course the mind blows and releases waste energy. You know, like, I need that in my consciousness, because in reality, evidence shows that that's not true, so why would I fucking think that anymore? Let me just gone, no longer part of the psychological viewpoint or something. I don't know what I was really saying by saying psychological. It's kind of psyche or something, but then it turned into psychological. Shown that even the Deccan traps experience. I mean, this is like the fact that I'm sitting here saying, "Oh, Dwarka," like I didn't know this. I did not know this. Like I started looking around. I was like, "Is there anything I can find?" I don't even know how I stumbled on this. I probably just searched for like this term, and I literally don't know how I found this. That's just how it works with me, I guess. But evidence of a clockwise, counterclockwise rotation of the Deccan traps, like, dude, that's weird. That's just fucking weird. Where do we talk about that happening on Earth? Oh yeah, that formed in a rotating process where the entire continent rotated. Not continent, free portion, a portion. Not even the entire, a portion of the continent. I'm not talking like a tiny thing, but like a fucking, the size of the Deccan traps rotated. Like, I'm just saying, it doesn't have to have rotated. Like, I'm sure not everywhere on Earth has evidence of clockwise, counterclockwise rotations. That's all I'm saying. Clockwise, counterclockwise rotation. When the crust of the Earth ruptured, the force of energy being expelled flowed in a manner where it deflected from the mass. I gotta say, this right here is pretty incredible, and if you look close, this arrow is shitty. positionally. These are more like actually well positioned because I came off of the corner here. So it's kind of like, I feel like it's showing how the Andes were pushed into. So there's also a force going this direction to cause this force in this direction, an equal and opposite force, by essentially the energy coming out of the earth and turning on, deflecting off of here. And so essentially pushing, and it literally creates like a pivot point for the energy to flow from, that's at 120 degrees.
Of South America, Africa, and Asia.
And then it starts basically getting big enough to create a flow in a circle. And then over here, notice how like the arrows, this flow is pushing in this direction. Like it can go in a circle, but it would like to just go straight. And so it physically pushed in this direction enough to carve through a channel between.
And instead, the energy,
and then it literally created
into the region of the Pacific Ocean
arc
with a large round anomaly of older oceanic crust.
Like,
the energy sent the region of all.
Like, notice this is one line of reasoning, though. Like, plate tectonics would explain the regions I'm pointing to, just kind of with each one individually having its own explanation. And a plate here. And a plate here. And the plate formed at this time. And, that's about all we got to say, is it's played and slow and steady process. I'm like, I just have one thread of like a very exact thing I'm saying that, like, really I cannot stress enough, does not have to fit observations. It doesn't have to. But it does, so why the fuck does it fit observations better than the theories out there? Just because people haven't heard and it sounds fucking ridiculous. Which is kind of why it's awesome. Kind of why it's awesome, honestly. Oh, we thought this, and in reality, it's fucking what? Huh? Narcissist.
Australia southward, as if surfing a wave, as it ripped the continents apart. Debris and smaller segments of detached continental shelf from the explosive eruption of the Earth's surface were sent along the fracture, reshaping it into islands of Southeast Asia.
I'm literally 2 hours and 9 minutes into recording a reaction to 20 minutes in.
As it spilled out across the newly forming ocean bed. Then it released magma from its fault line.
I just really legitimately wanted to like point out shit as I watched it. That's why I don't want to just stop.
And continued to expand the radius of the Earth until internal pressure and external pressure were at equilibrium.
That's something I didn't point out, but I noticed this later on, that this crack seems to like spawn initially when it's smaller before it starts to like fill out. But it seems to spawn off here, like when it exploded here, it like pushed a crack this way between Australia, Antarctica, and up back to the original point and basically finish this section. It seemed
comparatively, the process reached a new steady state which occurred in a relatively short transitional time.
I like how I repetitively just come back to that same graph. So let me remind you how reactions work. It's pretty straightforward once you really get a grasp of it. It's just activation energy. And that's pretty much
alike to as
crux
described
of
in
what's going.
ancestral narratives. Tektites occur around locations such as Chicxulub. Interpreting Chicxulub as an impact site requires these particles to leave the atmosphere and enter the vacuum of space and return to Earth to obtain the internal vacuum. However, if they went out of the atmosphere in order to obtain their vacuum, they would not be found centrally located at the crater, but instead offset from it elsewhere by a distance. Rather,
No. This is probably one of my least favorite things that I did in this video. Because I understand my audience, and this is the thing, geologists are gonna watch this shit and be like, no, you cannot confuse people with your blatant wrong statements. And because if there's a single blemish, a single fucking hole, they will fucking stab with the greatest force they can to be like, no, not this. In my experience, that's how it goes. It's not really reasonable if you really sit and think about it. It's really not reasonable the way science dominates the viewpoint, or not the viewpoint, the conversation, to a point where people who are trying to fucking speak are literally not allowed to. I understand that maybe some shit I say is fucked up, but notice how I have no help. Notice how I'm not getting paid for any of this. People fucking go about their, the people doing a lot of this research, their lives are probably, a lot of them. I don't want to presume people's circumstances, but, they're probably getting fucking paid to do this shit. It's meaning there's no pressure. You know what it's like to have zero income for 8 years? I mean, work at a fucking garden center. I don't really count that. But if fucking, it's like a negative. People are ridiculous. You believed in it so much that you literally quit everything you're doing. You must be wrong. You must be mistaken. I won't listen. I'll just judge you with word after word that you've heard before, and at this point you're becoming aware that the person saying the words doesn't even know you. It really tells. It's telling. It's telling when people don't know me and then fucking react. It's one thing to be like, hey, hello, conversation. It's another to be like, yeah, no, I'm gonna demonstrate to you how little I listened to what you had to say by just questioning the first thing you say. Or the guy today, he's like, I basically was trying to say, you're fucking calling me names. You're using this language as if you're acquainted with anything I'm doing. That's the thing, is you're not fucking acquainted. So what the fuck? It's just, obviously, it's confrontational for someone to fucking discover the theory of everything. It's confrontational. Now I exist. I'm some dude who fucking knows more than you. If you just listen to the system. There's definitely people out there who know more than me. Pardon me, y'all. And I'm talking about like deep knowing more. And, truly knowing. Because I'm still kind of guessing, really. Which maybe I shouldn't speak in a state of still kind of guessing. Like, I don't know what's happening. Maybe there's people out there who've gone past that and they're like, okay, I know what's happening. I know what's happening. I know what's happening. And they're confident in it and right. Not just confident and wrong. Which this world is. This world is just fucking confident and wrong. Maybe I'm confident and wrong too, but I'm legitimately trying. It's not like I benefit from being like, here's some bullshit. People are like, that's some bullshit. Maybe in the short term, if I present some bullshit, like, oh, I got away with that bullshit. But in the long term, people are like, this dude is fucking speaking bullshit. Kind of like the government. The short term bullshit works, government.
They would not be found centrally located at the crater, but instead offset from it elsewhere by a...
Yeah, this literally types several types. I'm talking about tektites, not several types. Casually just wanted this to be like good enough evidence to make a point. I didn't even have to make this point. That's the thing. Like this is what was happening. It's like, fucking wait, tektites? I literally don't know what tektites are. That's what's happening. It's true. Is I'm fucking like stumbling on something and being like, oh, I think I understand this. Oh, like, that's some arrogant shit. That's the problem. I fucking discovered the theory of everything. I don't know what to tell people sometimes. Like, holy shit. That's why I'm like, look at the way this video. I mean, maybe it's not perfect, but like, it came out of nowhere, dude. Literally, you can see the evidence. You can watch, be like, look at how it unfolded. That's fucking crazy that it went from there. You can literally see me like talking about what might be in the Joe Rogan Randall Carlson review video, reaction video I do. I'm just like, maybe this. Maybe that. And it's like months before, like totally unaware of what I'm about to start to fucking propose. And then like yes, this. So I didn't really need this though. But sometimes it fits in and I throw it in and it's not as thought out as other things because it's just like I'm on a roll. I do believe that this is generally, that the thing I'm saying about tektites is valid, that they were formed by this vortex passing through the earth. I fucking believe that. I don't know what to tell you guys. I believe it. No, maybe that's the thing, is like I gotta be precise. Like, this was not the best image. And there's other points that do other things that are kind of shit.
Distance. Rather, tektites obtained their stable vacuum nuclei by the ethereal vortex storm that was.
No, I'm almost guaranteed to stop this at around 3 hours of recording, which will probably be at about the halfway mark. And do a two-parter, because literally 2-part review of my video, 6 hours. And then imagine doing Mercury too.
Flowing through the earth. Because ether particles are so subtle relative to the atoms that the Earth's crust and mantle are composed of, they are able to pass through it easily. Normally, the layers of atoms that naturally and organically develop.
I also don't like the platonic solids there. That image. That's the thing, is I'm just finding images online, so sometimes like I just wanted to put something for ether. Like, this doesn't. It's not the best way to put ether, but it's this. Like, because ether particles,
they are able to pass through it easily.
Like, that doesn't really.
Normally,
it doesn't represent that they're able to pass through it easily by that image. That's all.
Layers of atoms that naturally and organically develop one upon another form stable equilibriums, and so each successive layer blocks portions of ethereal flows by absorbing their relative spectrum of ether. Layers of dense particles pass through the resistance of subtler layers and each find their equilibrium across time. However, the weapon used on Dwarka focused the ethereal energy through the layers by producing a vortex capable of forming macroscopic regions void of.
This image was real cool. I feel bad for not using reference. Sorry, person who did this. I hope that's searchable for anyone interested. I put some, maybe I could try to find this one, because it is a real good one, like, in terms of probably a lot of fucking effort to make this, honestly. Maybe, I assume, unless they're real good.
Atoms, but filled with ether particles. And so as the ethereal particles,
regardless if they're good or not, it's good.
Passed through the earth, they formed an abundance of stable macroscopic void particles, tektites, containing stored pure ether.
This is incredible. It's literally like it's got an orbiting mass. And then this maybe too.
Ether within a shell of orbiting material. Tektites take shapes indicative of vortex rotation. This suggests that the Chicxulub crater is rather an internal impact from an ethereal particle so massive that it caused.
From an ethereal particle so massive.
The earth to rupture.
That was a little confusing because the way ether works, I believe, is like this object. Ether's pretty much just like subtle void, but it gathers material around it. So when I said ether particle, what I was really getting at was like a particle of material like this that at the center was filled with many ether particles that formed a nucleus, stable nucleus in a sphere shell of material that was huge. The material around it, when it contacted Chicxulub, caused the crater. So my wording was a little off.
Central America
I don't think it was too confusing, but it was a little off.
and was moved aside by the overall force as the projection of ethereal vortex energy emitted tektites in large quantities. They then showered down over the region of Southeast Asia and Australia.
I said that like how. So then they like shout, dudes. So like they. Sometimes my tone of voice, like fuck, it's permanently there. Like I don't really want to. It would take so much effort to go through this again and re-record it and not sound like a douche in certain spots. Cause it's so fucking important. That's the problem. It's important that I not sound like a douche. So people fucking listen and allow me to transmit the information that I'm trying to convey, because that's what I've been shown to do. I mean, that's what you guys are even showing me to do. As a whole, that's what my experience has brought me to be doing, is this. And shown me, not just like going about life. Like fucking circumstances have made it abundantly clear what I was to be doing. I mean, should I still be doing this at some point? Maybe I need to get my shit together and walk away from it. I don't know what the future holds. I'm really thinking I need to just walk away from it. And then it'll happen whenever it happens, or it doesn't. I really don't care anymore. I mean, if time ticks on and like no one cares and like the world isn't ending, because that's the thing, like the world's fucking ending. Not ending, but I don't want to say ending because I don't know that. I don't know for certain that we will be moving to Venus. That Venus will be the new Earth. I don't know that for certain. I just suppose it because the evidence is fucking overwhelming in my view. But I also have hope and belief that we can figure this shit out. Be like, live as one in truth, like sharing resources and also realizing like maybe our time is not as much as we have, and like maybe we should fucking be a little more mindful with the way we do things, like trying to figure out what the fuck we're gonna do next as a people. Maybe deserves a little more attention in terms of like expenditures financially. Post consideration of these topics. You know, if people realize that Mercury's gonna supernova, what the fuck are we gonna do?
Antimatter is time reversed particles. When the direction of time is in the opposite direction, a stable vacuum particle can be seen as a radiant star. Systems which we see as matter take in ethereal.
Then I'm like, fuck, what if it's me again? Damn it. That's right, I was thinking it was supernovas. Just supernovas. One day I'm just like, it happened and I did it. I'm so grateful I didn't do it. Wait. Grateful? You're grateful that the world is about to be bombarded with debris from a planet that you've consciously placebo affected into supernovaing, huh? This dude. Wait, you mean I did it anyway? Fuck!
Real particles and merge them, and then we emit them as larger scale particles which we see as light. Vacuum particles, rather, take in larger surrounding systems and break them down into subtler particles and emit the subtler particles. In this way, they are identical but dependent on our angle of perception. With the rupturing of the Pacific,
I think that's a little confusing for people. In this way, they are identical. I called them identical, but they're opposites. But like, I meant identical because I was pointing out.
In this way, they are identical but
dependent on our angle of perception, making them opposites because we're looking from opposite angles. They're still identical, though, is essentially what I was getting at, but I could see why that would probably be confusing, and I can see a physicist reacting to that. That's all.
dependent on our angle of perception. With the rupturing of the Pacific,
And I mean, not that it matters. I was just saying, it'd be nice if I was clearer there, probably.
energy exploded in all directions.
This one's awesome because it actually shows, and I never mentioned this, but it kind of looks a lot more like the hexagon was even there. And then it got covered by the Mariana Trench debris. All this stuff bouncing back. Like, it definitely has a kind of strange straight side. At least in this one. The other one's not as... Other
Where
ones
it
I've
met
seen
the
are
resistance
not
of
as
continental shelves,
pronounced.
it was reflected back. However, because of the intensity of the event, the reflecting waves brought large quantities of material with them. This led to island arcs especially found along the eastern coast of Asia, where the energy flowed most. Running along the eastern coast of Asia is the north-south gravity lineament, marking the eastern boundary where the thickness of the continental crust is dramatically reduced, showing how far the energy was able to penetrate into the continental shelf from the explosive force. Further evidence of this process can be found from the sedimentation. As the earth ruptured, especially between North America and Africa, not only was magma released, but large quantities of water and other material. The sediment shows that water flowed out across North America as the earth rotated until it reached the newly formed...
This is a little questionable. Not to say it like I question it. I just can see why it's questionable, because it's not as like thorough, and there's some subtleties going on here. You know, the more you know, the more you notice the subtleties. I'm sure geologists would pick up on the subtleties a lot more. I'm not saying that means I'm wrong. It's just like they need addressed and accounted for. But at some point, like, it becomes clear that what I'm saying is valid, because not because I'm saying it, but because that's what the evidence literally is showing. That's what the evidence is showing. So, like, even though I haven't thoroughly researched the flesh, like, I've researched the skeleton. Like, I've got the frame very well established. It's just, there's things that are subtleties that certainly just would... It's just not the best.
That's Rocky Mountains, pushed up from a collision of...
Like this part here, it pushed up. It's hard to explain the Rockies because I didn't really bother to try. Yeah, they probably pushed up from... they're off over here, so that's kind of weird. Why are they so far over there? I didn't really realize at the time of making this. I think like it's possible some chunk over here. I don't know. It seems like this chunk here formed also, like California, Washington, up into Canada, along the western coast at least. Like there's plates, not plates. There's people like, he said plates. He fucking said plates. There's layers of accretions that kind of are like younger than I realized. I thought all continental shelf on Earth was pre-expansion, and that it was that simple. Okay, that's a good line, but I realized it looks like there was some accretion here. So I wonder if like the way the water flowed in this region kind of brought, maybe some reason it pushed material. It just caused layers to be formed here, but in a way where they're like perceived as continental shelf, where this is oceanic crust. I don't know how that would happen, where it could like, unless it like came from elsewhere, like from over here. But the odds are probably not, and it was just added on layer after layer from this direction. Maybe just with enough force, it can push it up high enough to then be like. So there's some complexity going on here. That's what I'm getting at in the Rockies, and probably other places. And again though, like it's true though. That's like, once, it's not like I haven't researched this enough to be like, okay, this is too anomalously fitting. Like, what in the fuck? This shouldn't fit. I shouldn't be able to be like, there's a vortex weapon used here. See here, let me explain here, and just fucking talk for days about the evidence. I shouldn't be able to.
Forces from the Pacific and Atlantic sides like waves colliding. Then it largely flowed along the Rockies and around Alaska, but the waters accumulated. As they swept across to Asia, they were caused to flow southward and outward on the spinning globe. This caused such a great flow of water as to press down upon the land as it moved, which then pushed up a large, sweeping mound of material into an arc of mountains known as the Himalayas. The energy from this wave collided with still active energies from the formation of the Indonesian archipelago, causing the Himalayas mountain chain to fracture. Water and mountains spilled down across the terrain from this location. Such vast sums of water were involved in the formation of the Himalayas that they also were caused to flow outward and around the western side of the mountain chain. This flow traveled out across the Middle East. As the water progressed, it was depositing nutrients along the way. That is, until it largely ran out of them and contained more and more sand. Silicon and oxygen make up 75% of the mass of the Earth's crust.
That's another thing. I mean, it's pretty comparable in the mantle, so it doesn't really matter. But I said crust. And that really doesn't matter because the new crust is not coming from the crust. I know it's a little confusing that the that which already exists is not just spontaneously becoming new crust. It needs new source of things from within. It would be from the mantle, not from the crust. But it's pretty much the same, so this is okay. But this was technically not quite exactly what I should have said.
This left behind a trail of highly fertile land in North America and northern Russia, but as the material reached the region of the Himalayas, the remains became highly sandy to the point that deserts were deposited. The water that reached northern Africa, sweeping across it, was the last stretch of the journey before assuredly draining into the Atlantic Ocean. This deposited material at the drainage points into the ocean in such quantities as to produce the Canary Islands and Cape Verde.
I'm pretty confident about that, although I'm open to it not being the case. I don't think it's... I do think that I'm pretty confident about it, though. I looked at the ages of them. They're not quite the same. They're like 60 and 100 million or something years of, I don't remember. They, if I remember right, they were a little older than I anticipated. I was anticipating more in the range of maybe like 50 million years or less, even like 10 million. But I didn't really think about it that much. They're far off the coast, so they're kind of hard to explain. Like, they're not just right there. They're pretty far off the coast, so this concept that they're training and depositing them is certainly suspect. Sometimes I insert my best guess, but there are times where I'm like, okay.
The mantle is like the material surrounding the
And again, though, that's what science does. I try to propose this stuff, and people treat me like I must be perfect and utterly irrefutable in every way to say anything other than what they already believe, even though what they already believe is not that case. So why am I getting treated that way? It's just I'm so certain that people just like take it as, okay, he's fucking crazy. Maybe I'm not completely right about stuff, but like, I mean, something's right, even if it's that I'm totally wrong about everything and don't listen to me. Oh no, I'm fuck.
Archetype's vacuum center at the core of the earth.
In that, like, I'm right about everything, but that's a half truth. That's the problem. It's not that I'm wrong. Like, it's what I'm most afraid of is that I'm right and people like react. Cause like if I'm wrong, it doesn't matter. It's not gonna get out there. No one's gonna give a shit. I'm just gonna die one day, go to heaven, look down at earth, and be like, oh, the next 20 centuries. Yep, all my books are gone. All the evidence of me is gone and never was considered, and I just existed doing all that shit for a purpose of the future that didn't really manifest. And like that wrongness side of things, I'm not that afraid of that because I don't think I'm wrong. What I'm afraid of is the fucking reactions when I'm right, People realize I'm right. Although, like, the ramifications of things I'm wrong about. Maybe that Cape Verde was caused by drainage off of the Africa because I see clear drainage pointing at it, and at the other one, Canary Islands, another drainage point pointing at it. Like it's kind of weird, maybe. Yeah, I'd say that's fucking caused by that. Yep. Yep. Like, that's how I work. Yep. That's where I'm at. It's off-putting for some people. I backtrack. Don't think I don't backtrack. But I'm still like that aware where I can just be like, yeah. Next thing to add to fucking features of reality.
Is not a single object, but rather an array of dense systems orbiting one another in a tight nucleus held together by their proximity and identical in nature to the nucleus of an atom.
This I'm honestly still contemplating very heavily at times.
We can peer into...
I do believe this is the nucleus of our galaxy. The nucleus of the black hole. Although I don't know what to make of dark matter, if that's the case. Because I was kind of thinking that there's missing radius at the center to the point where, like, the black hole's just not visible. And there's missing radius. But maybe not. Because that matters for dark matter. That's why it matters. If there's like a missing radius that we're not accounting for near the center of a galaxy because of gravitational lensing, creating like a hidden radius near the center of the galaxy, then it's possible that all the galaxy rotation curves would be off. Because we weren't accounting for that distance at the center. But if black holes are like what I'm saying here, maybe not. But it's, I don't know, there's so many possibilities.
To the core of a large stellar object.
I also just don't like my fucking language here.
By looking at the center of a galaxy. While black holes are considered
of hexagonal connections. How off-putting could I be? I mean, it's generally, I don't think I'm wrong though. The thing is, I focused on hexagons and not more generally
singularities.
Like, look at this right here. This one swings in, has these four take the shape of like a diamond kind of thing, with this one swinging into position, while these ones over here,
stars at the center of a galaxy, are the black hole's nucleus.
Form
and the X-ray
it's really just those ones I was looking at.
From the surroundings of the black hole are from the mantle equivalent of the object. They are so large in radius that we peer through them when looking for them. The density of their particles is so high that visible light can pass through the system.
And part of it is like, any physicist looking at this can be like, what in the fuck did that dude just say? You can't even tell the distance. Like, how are you gonna? I'm just like, they lined up pretty well, and the stars glittered. glimmered. The stars shook and vibrated, and they seemed to line up in my vision where the stars I was looking at had sure, they can kind of be at any angle, and if they're moving, they're going to form all sorts of angles. So, what the fuck? But they do that thing where the stars like shh.
And as a result, we can see the nucleus of the Milky Way. When a jolt of energy flows through the stars, their arrangement momentarily has an ordered structure with a burst of hexagonal connections between adjacent stars. When the ethereal vortex enters the core of the...
This is so complex of a topic. I shouldn't have talked about it. It's just too much. I mean, I tried to defend it almost by subsequently going into all sorts of detail.
The Earth. The nucleus of the Earth was caused to undergo radioactive decay.
Basically that.
This can be likened to a star's supernova, during which all atoms of a star are said to simultaneously undergo radioactive decay. We can reliably draw parallels across dimensions because all systems function the same. Rather than black holes being fundamentally different from other systems such as stars and planets, the angle from which we view them is so vastly varied as to transform them into a perceived new octave of reality. Historically, systems have been divided into categories and subcategories to the point where we now only see the categorizations rather than the unity of all. For instance, no two planets are considered to be the same, yet beyond a degree of subtlety, where our ability to see the system in equally high definition is lost, the concept of identicalness is taken as absolute. The entire periodic table relies on systems being indistinguishable from identical so as to classify them according to this identicalness. But between the stable valley stairs of the energetic levels of the universe, there are mountains that require summiting in order to cross into a new equilibrium.
Hell yeah.
Many systems can find themselves in the same valleys, especially more subtle systems. This can cause tendencies in the locations systems are found as places of stability that require energy to be moved.
Even though those trees are probably not the best example, I do believe they're still a good example. It's just a little... People are like, dude, trees don't become other trees and then be... Although maybe I think about it though, I'm like, maybe.
From one way or another, hydrogen alone is
With
found in
enough
several
activation
isotope
energy.
forms. It is rather more precise to view each particle of hydrogen as being as unique as the Earth and equally as complex, and that there are patterns that exist where systems can reach a horizon in our perception and merge into a single perceived collection. We can easily differentiate one another, yet even if we saw an ant walking an identical path as we saw an ant...
This, I haven't looked back to find it. I'm pretty sure I used this exact image and this exact fucking point. And it's at the halfway point. Wow. From 31, 30, 31, 31. This is a good place to stop then for now. I'll just pause here. Even if we see this ant again. So it's kind of interesting. Like, if I use this image twice and I even made the same ant, obviously this. Actually, we can tell for sure it's the same ant, dude, because you use the same fucking picture and it's carrying the same. It's the same fucking ant, really. It's the same ant, dude. Alright, fine. And obviously, I meant in reality and not in this fucking picture before you, dude. Fuck's sake. But I think I did the same thing in one of my As It's Written in the Cosmos videos where I used this image. I really almost want to go back and find it and just see how similar the language is, because I literally did not mean to. It just occurred to me like, wait a minute.
Previously, Walk, we cannot know with certainty, one way or another, whether we are seeing the same ant. And thus, the unification of the mechanics of all systems across an infinite spectrum, where it is our angle of perception that causes variance in how a system in the
This fucking sentence.
universe is seen, is possible through the parallels that exist across dimensions.
Oh my god. This sentence I just said that I paused in the middle of. So it's pretty much impossible to look back on it without finding the original video. Haha, you always will have a pause. Make it impossible to tell what the fuck did he say? Yeah, that sense of it is, I really listened closely to it many times. Many. And like, I think the sentence actually makes sense. It's just such a run-on sentence that it doesn't make any fucking sense. The parallels are possible across dimensions by blah blah blah. Okay, I'm gonna stop here because this is literally 3 hours, and so I'm at 32 minutes after 3 hours. That's a good ratio. Alright, I hope that was informative of the first half of my thoughts on this. Hopefully the second half is not 3 hours. I mean, as cool as that would be to just rant and rave for eternity to everyone, I am tired of doing this stuff. It costs energy. Like, I feel okay now. Like, I thought I was gonna just die. Like, that's how bad I felt. I mean, I'm young relatively, so I don't know. I don't have experience to really know, like, the magnitude of what it feels like to feel like you're gonna die. But I was not feeling good. Like, my body was not just, I have a body. My body was like, you have a fucking body, dude. Did you notice me? You motherfucker. Your heart. Oh my god, my heart, dude. I'm like, what is going on? Like, ow. Ow. Like, is this okay? Just pains. I'm just like, am I breathing? I don't know if I'm breathing. Like, I'm literally like, have I been breathing much? I find myself just caught in mid-breath, holding a breath in or out. So it's strenuous, that's all. Stressful, I'm tired. People don't understand because they don't do it. How much fucking effort it takes. Oh my god. And then people don't understand how much effort it takes while not succeeding. Holy shit. Especially what I'm doing. Like, dudes. I pretty much just fucking push my chips all in. and said, I have faith in you guys, and yeah, about that. Yeah, about that. Hello? I mean, maybe after now. So we'll see. Peace out, y'all. It's 3 hours, so I saw it hit the 3 hour mark, so I'm gonna stop. Thanks for hanging for however long you made it. If you made it 3 hours, bravo. Appreciate it. Hope my audio is tolerable. And so on. Like the audio itself, not me. If you made it 3 hours and you hate me, I mean, good for you, I guess. It's probably why no one listens, because you gotta actually enjoy me. Oh.